we're going to do new faces in new places and kind of talk about who did really well here at the trade deadline.
Yep.
So let's start with Max Scherzer, now on the Rangers, and his outing against the White Sox.
You know, Max started off really bad. It was like the worst inning of his year so far, in his very first inning with the Rangers. And that was it. That was all the damage that was done. He ended up locking in, having a great first start there with the Rangers. 6 innings pitched. Those 3 earned runs all came in the first inning, 9 strikeouts. So what started off as a nightmare ended up as a very, very good start for Max Scherzer with the Rangers, which is exactly what that team needs and needed, was starting pitchers and just pitching help all around. So getting a guy like Max, huge for them. Great start.
And that's what a good veteran does. It's that you have a tough start to an outing. You got to be able to not let it affect you and turn it around the way that he did, which is what they needed. All right, let's move on to another veteran pitcher, Scherzer's former teammate, your big brother, Justin Verlander, back with the Astros, making his first start with the Astros against the Yankees, and he looked great.
Yes, his debut with the Astros, his 2023 debut, with his re-debut. 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. It feels like he always pitches well in Yankee Stadium, and for his first start to be there, kind of fitting. You know, it's a rivalry between those two, and for him to go back and join the Astros, and for his first start to be there in New York, ended up a good start. The Astros only ended up with 2 hits, I think, that game, so he didn't get the win. He ended up with the loss, but he threw great. 7 innings pitched, 2 earned, 4 strikeouts.
He was great. There's nothing you can really do when you don't get the run support. So, we said, he's back.
He's back.
He's back.
He's back.
He's back.
It took him, he didn't have his command for a little while there in the first couple of innings, and then he found it and locked in for the rest of the outing and looked then kind of coasted after those first couple innings where he was a bit erratic. But yeah, really good start. He's been back for a couple months now.
Well, let's move on to another pitcher, Jack Flaherty, now on the Orioles, and had a great first outing against the Blue Jays.
I really liked this. He had a dominant start, and Jack Flaherty, let's not forget, a few years ago, before all the injuries started happening to him, he was one of the best young pitchers in the game of baseball, but he hasn't been that guy of late for the Cardinals. And then he gets moved to the Orioles. His first start, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. In the very first inning, he threw a pitch 97 miles an hour, which is the hardest pitch he's thrown all year long his first inning with a new team. So
that's great.
You know, sometimes you just have to have a change of scenery to get out of like a little funk you might be in, or like a little rut. And for Jack Flaherty, maybe a move to the Orioles in the middle of a playoff pennant chase and trying to win the division, maybe that's exactly what he needed, because he was phenomenal. So, you know, I wasn't critical of the Jack Flaherty pickup. I was critical of the Orioles for not going out and getting like a bigger name, like a big top end starter, and I still would be critical of that.
Yeah.
But if Jack Flaherty is going to be this guy, it is exactly what they needed.
And like you said, because we kind of mentioned this when the trade happened, when we did our trade deadline show, it's you hope when there's a move like this, it is just new beginning, new start, and you can kind of get your mind right to get to a new place. And he did. He became the first Orioles pitcher with 8 strikeouts and 1 or fewer earned runs allowed in his debut with the team since 1966.
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah.
He did awesome. All right. Let's move on to our next new face in a new place. Jordan Montgomery, now with the Rangers against the Marlins. Another great outing.
The Rangers got exactly what they intended to, at least in the first week since the deadline, with Max Scherzer and Jordan Montgomery. 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and a rotation that was supposed to be led by Jacob deGrom this year that ended up being injury plagued, and he's out for the year. And then you have Nathan Eovaldi get hurt. So a rotation that's ended up being led by Eovaldi and John Gray. Now you add Max Scherzer and Montgomery. It's exactly what they needed. He was great.
That is crazy, because you think, obviously, deGrom going down, the hope in the beginning of the season, we know he's injury prone, and you hope that wouldn't happen. But then Eovaldi steps up, and then he just recently gets injured, and now they've just restacked their starting rotation, which will be even better once everyone is back and healthy.
Is that, I saw like a light bulb click in your head.
I was like,
what happened over there?
I know, staring off into the distance. I was like, yeah, they're 1-2. Both went down. And then they just got a new 1-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're not getting DeGrom back this year, but Eovaldi hopefully comes back. And then you look at a playoff rotation of Max, Eovaldi. They have Dane Dunning pitching great. John Gray, Jordan Montgomery will probably get some innings in the playoffs. I mean, they've put together a really good team.
We talked about it yesterday. They may have had the best trade deadline situation, getting exactly what they needed with starting pitching, relief pitching, just really everything that they needed. They had
awareness of their weaknesses, and they went out and addressed those weaknesses.
Yes, they did.
And they're
bottom line
playing great for that.
All right. Well, let's move on to our next new face in a new place. Moving to some position players. Jeimer Candelario, Cubs new infielder, playing great.
Playing phenomenal. Now, he was an all-star this year. Went back to the Cubbies where it all began for him, but has since made a few stops, Tigers, Nationals in there. But now he's with the Cubs, and he's a much bigger part of that lineup. He's hit 579 in his first week there, an OPS over 1,500. He's got 11 hits, 8 runs scored, 2 RBIs, and a homer. He's been quite literally unstoppable since the trade, and it is exactly what that Cubs team needed. A Cubs team that is playing lights out right now. They're one of the best teams in baseball. They've been playing like one of the best teams in baseball since, I don't know, the All-Star break. I think that's fair to say. So, yeah, he's been fantastic.
It's just crazy how much a team and a season can completely turn everything around with, I guess, a little bit of hope, luck, and a winning streak. Because they were in the conversation to be sellers, go on this crazy winning streak, and then become buyers and just have been lights out. Ever since.
The vibes are rolling there.
Yeah.
They're sometimes you just need the vibe. You need that like feeling. And you can tell like based off the team and their energy after games, the Cubs got it going on down there at Wrigley right now.
And speaking of that,
there, up there, wherever Chicago is from
inland,
in there. Cubs got it rolling in there in Wrigley.
Okay. We'll get to the Cubs. We got one more new face in a new place. Amed Rosario with the Dodgers is just red hot.
You know, this pickup was a head scratcher when we didn't know who it was for.
Yeah.
It was like, why are you trading for Amed Rosario? He's been a very less than average hitter this year, according to, WRC plus, all that stuff. He's not been good this year. And he gets traded to the Dodgers, and I feel like they just have a knack for doing this. You get moved, and the Dodgers just make you a good baseball player. And since he's gone over there, 8 games, 8 hits, 9 RBIs in 8 games. I mean, the guy's killing it. And he's playing great defense. He made an unbelievable dive and play the other day against the Padres. He's been great.